All right, so what do we have here? What we're doing here is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do each problem on the same grid, talk you through it. When I'm done, I'm going to erase it and do the next problem and over again. So you won't see all the problems remaining at the end. You'll just see the last one that I did at the end. But you can move through the video and you can see each one in order. So if you're only looking for number 13, you might want to zip forward. Anyhow, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to plot each point. I'm going to pause it when I plot. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Here's the figure. R, S, T, and V are all plotted. And so what I'm going to do here is, instead of doing the distance formula proper, the distance formula is, and you can ask me about this on Monday or something like this, but the distance formula essentially is, oops, sorry about that, is a modification of the Pythagorean theorem, c squared equals a squared plus b squared, okay? It really is. So if I wanted to, for example, find the distance between v right here and t, what we would do when you have the distance. Okay, so here's the distance formula, and essentially what you're saying is, if we were talking about the distance between v and t, what we're really doing is saying, kind of like, well, let me sketch a little triangle right there. Here, here, and here. You can see a right triangle right there. There's the right angle because it's going along the grid lines. And if I wanted to find that hypotenuse, the length of that side, I can basically do a squared, this side squared, plus b squared, and I would get c squared. Okay, I would get the length of that squared. Now what if I just wanted to get the length of that, just like the distance here? Okay, well, if I square root both sides of c squared equals a squared plus b squared, this and then this, the square root of c squared is just c. So you get c is equal to, and what's on the other side? Square root of a squared plus b squared. Okay, so you can actually see right now then that this right here, we can think of that as a. Watch, if I find out the distance here between the x coordinates, what I'm really doing is saying, what is that length there? Okay, if we subtracted those values, you could see that we would get a number 6 because they're 6 units apart. Okay, so x2 minus x1 will result in a 6. And 6 squared is just like doing that side length squared. Now, how does y change? Y changes this way. And if we subtracted those two y coordinates, we would find out a 3. 3 squared is the same as doing b squared that side squared, right? So if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then if we square root it, we get c. So that's what we're doing. We're taking the horizontal length squared plus the vertical length squared and adding them together and then square rooting it to find out the distance. Got it? So the distance formula is simply a way of using coordinates to punch in and find out what some length is. So I'm going to erase these. And what I'm going to do then is I'm essentially going to just talk about that yellow triangle and do c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Or really, c is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. And what do we get for those lengths? For this length here, we get 3 units. So let's put it in there. C equals square root of 3 squared plus, and what do we get for here? We get 6 units, 6 squared. Or C is equal to the square root of 9 plus 36. 9 plus 36 is 45. And we could keep it as square root of 45. That's fine. I'm also going to show you this, though. This is, if we did the, for those of you that know this, and you should all know this, this is really 3 times 3, 9, times 5. Okay? 45, if you break it down into its primes, is 3 times 3 times 5. And anytime you see something inside once, you can bring it out front. I'm sorry, every time you see it inside twice, you bring it out once. So we get the 3 out front and then square root of 5. So that length is 3 write that length in there as 3 root 5. Okay? And we can also figure out the slope of this by saying, how much do we rise? We rise 3. How much do we run? We run 6. 3 over 6 is equal to 1/2. So that also has a slope of 1/2. So I'm going to erase that, but I'm going to write in there, oops, it has got a slope, let me use a different color. It's got a slope of 1/2 and a length of 3 root 5. Why do we care? Well, if we're determining what it is, we need to make sure that opposite sides are equal and we've got 90-degree angles. So if we've got 90-degree angles, then we're going to get a slope on these other sides of an opposite reciprocal. What's the opposite reciprocal of negative 1? Of 1/2? Well, if you flip that, you get 2 over 1 or 2, and you have to negate it. So we should get a slope of negative 2 or negative 2 over 1. Let's see if we do. Oops. Sorry, trying to mess with my tools here. Okay. So, sorry for the delay. What we want to do then is find out for the rest of these what we get. And I'm going to speed this up. Now that you've gotten the basic idea, and this is that will be a good video for you to kind of watch to get the basic idea. Let's see what we get here for these other two sides. Well, for this side, we've got this triangle right here. And we can use that same triangle. Actually, I'll use it and do it in yellow like I did before. We can do that same thing over here. So to find the length of it, by the way, to find the slope of it, we can say rise negative 2, run 1. Negative 2 over 1, or negative 2 slope. That's looking good for us because that's what we needed to have the opposite reciprocal. M is negative 2. Okay? And what's the length of it? Well, over here, we will say, let's fill this value in. C is going to be equal to the square root of, one side has a length of 2, one side has a length of 1. So we can then say 2 squared plus 1 squared. And C equals the square root of 4 plus 1, or C equals root 5. So that's got a length of root 5. Yeah? And now things are going to speed up a little bit because check it out. See how we dropped 2, ran 1 to get back to the other point? Well, we can do that too. We don't have to go on the outside. We can go on the inside as well, as long as we're dropping 2 and running 1 to get this other point. Since we're doing that, we're going to get the same slope as the other side and the same length. So for this side as well, I'm going to say we've got a slope of negative 2 and a distance or length. And actually, I should probably write d equals 3 root 5. D distance equals that. Distance equals, and because it is the exact same positioning of this one, drop 2, run 1, drop 2, run 1, we're going to get that exact same distance of root 5. And the same thing is going to happen here. Let me erase the yellow. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Okay. And what I'm going to do here in yellow for this other side is say, if I here rose 3, ran 6, well, let's see what we get between R and S. Let me erase that. Rise 3, run 6, just like I did for that other side. That means it's going to have the exact same slope and the exact same distance. So that's going to save us a lot of time once we realize that that's happening. Okay, so now I can just write in the slope equals 1/2, and the distance or the length is equal to 3 root 5, just like the other side. So we have opposite sides equal. That means it's some kind of parallelogram. And we have opposite reciprocal slopes. And that means that the opposite pairs of sides are perpendicular and we're getting 90-degree angles. And if that's true, then we have a rectangle. Is it a more specific type of rectangle, a square? It's not. We don't get the exact same length for all of the sides, so it's not that. But we know that opposite reciprocal slopes means 90-degree angles, perpendicular sides, and opposite side lengths are the same. So we have a rectangle. That seemed like a long way around that, but we're going to speed that up for the next ones, okay? So actually, I think that I'll call this one just video 1, or I'm sorry, the video for problem 10, and I'll refer back to it. I'm just going to leave it here the way that it is. But let me just do this little tool grab that I've got, which I really like. What is this? This is a rectangle, and that's my answer. I'm going to refer kids back to this video to watch it to see what I've been doing here to find the slope and the length of side. So this video hopefully will be well used because I